There are a couple factors that actually destroy someone's success, and something that I've suffered with in the past is hopping from thing to thing, business model to business model, job to job without having any stabilization inside of your life. This is something I struggled with in the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey. I just wanted to get on a video and kind of give some advice on what to do and what not to do as an entrepreneur, getting into business and continuing business forward when you have seen success. I've done a decent amount in my short 21 years. I've built a 6-figure business. I've generated over 7-figure in revenue. I've done in my 21 years, which many people might think is success, but to me, is the very bare minimum average. I've created a business that has generated me 6 figures every single year, which I have now made over 7 figures in revenue from. I bought my dream car, my M3 competition. I've also moved into a high-rise in the city that I grew up in. And through all this, I still feel like I haven't accomplished much, and I'm still looking for the next thing. As humans, I believe what we struggle with is we look too far ahead. We look at the next thing, and when we get to that next thing, when we're studying that next thing, when we need to be learning about it, we think too far ahead. We think 3 months, 4 months, 1 year ahead when we're making 20, 30, 40K a month in our head, and we're thinking, damn, I can't wait to get to that point. But what we don't focus on is what is important, what is currently in front of us, what do we need to currently focus on? That is the most important. And I see a lot of people suffer because of this. A lot of people suffer is because they hop into a business model with high expectations, thinking that within a given time frame, they're gonna see a tremendous amount of success. But here is the problem. The problem is people are misguided. People don't understand the effort that you have to put in to reach a high level of success inside of your life. This is coming from someone which, I'm making 50K a month with my business, which I really don't think is a lot, right? Because that's revenue. The truth is that's revenue. There's a difference between revenue and profit. With my business, I'm making anywhere from 40 to 50% profits every single month, which is still very good money, which every day I thank God for. But I have higher hopes. I have bigger things that I want to accomplish in my life. I don't want to be making 50. I want to be making 100, 200, 300, $400,000 a month in profit, not revenue. I would urge young entrepreneurs and new entrepreneurs getting into new business is stick to one thing and actually try and go through the failure and go through the error, and you will see success. I tried multiple business models. I've done a lot of different things. I've done mulching. I've done snow removal. I was a barber at some point. In my very first business, I literally sold candy out of my locker in middle school in 7th grade. I made my first $100 a month, and I never looked back from then. But the problem was I was looking from the next thing to the next thing without having to master one. I was a master of none. And to me, that was not fun. But I didn't mean to rhyme there. But the point is, you want to focus on one thing. Why do we want to focus on one specific thing that we want to get into? Because we will never learn it if we see one failure and hop to the next thing, and we'll never amount to success if we hop from thing to thing to thing. For example, the business that I got into, this is what actually made me my real money. The business I started at 18 was my short-term rental business. This business took a decent amount of money up front, I'm not gonna lie, but I learned how to leverage my credit, and that's what I learned to do and start my business from. Would I say this is something everyone can do? Yes, if you actually put in the effort and you put in the time and you have the right guidance. I have friends that started in dropshipping. I have friends that started their Amazon FBA businesses. I have friends that are successful in day trading. The problem isn't the business model. The problem is the person learning the business model. If you can't humble yourself enough to work a job to support your dreams and aspirations, then you have no dreams and aspirations. You have to be willing to sacrifice your time to get the things that you want, but not only your time. You have to be willing to compromise certain relationships inside of your life. Relationship with your siblings, with your parents, with your friends, with your spouses. If you really have a dream you want to achieve, you will not let anything get in the way of those dreams. And if they do get in the way of those dreams, you have to learn to let them go. Listen, if you want to be successful, anyone in your life right now needs to be supporting you. And if they're not supporting you on your path to success, then they can't be with you on your path. They're either walking along the path with you, or they are blocking the road and they want you to take a left turn when you're supposed to turn right. Do you get what I'm saying? We live in a day and age where there's a lot of different things to learn, which is quite overwhelming, which is something that a lot of people might struggle with. Back in the 1800s, back in the 1900s, back in the 1950s, there were still entrepreneurs like there are nowadays, but the problem was people couldn't find business models models to get into. They had to create and innovate and create their own business. Nowadays, there's so many different business models to get into. You can piggyback off different businesses. In a way, my short-term rental business piggybacks off other businesses. Why does it piggyback and how does it piggyback off other businesses? I list my short-term rentals on websites like Zillow, Airbnb, Booking.com. They bring me traffic, they get a cut for it. Amazon FBA, the same thing. If you're selling on Amazon, you're going off another business. And the people and the CEOs and the owners of the business truly innovated in a way to where you are working for them, but you are your own business owner and you are an entrepreneur. But in a way, you are still feeding the CEOs. For someone to truly start a business from scratch, for example, I was looking through my phone and I saw something called NeuroGum, right? And every business that's on Shark Tank, these people get innovative and they start their own business from scratch. And sometimes they piggyback off other businesses to support their business. For example, someone creating a product, right? You create a product from scratch, and the thing is, they present it to the sharks. And the sharks say yes or no. We think this product is gonna do good, or we think this product is not gonna work at all. And what determines that is the fact of the popularity and the usage/utility of that product. What usage does it have, and what utility can it bring to other people's lives? For example, NeuroGum, right? That product was on Shark Tank, and they might have their own website, but where do they get most of their sales from? When I scroll through my phone, I go through TikTok, I go through Instagram, there's TikTok shop ads, there's people supporting this product, there's people making money off this product. But all in all, look at the pyramid, look at how it is, right? There's TikTok, right? Then there's NeuroGum. NeuroGum has their product on TikTok, so they're using this innovative product or innovative app to support them and make money off of TikTok itself and get sales and traffic from TikTok. Now we think about the TikTok sellers, the people that are making videos of this product. They are entrepreneurs, but in a way, they are working for NeuroGum and they are working for TikTok. They are supporting two different innovative businesses. But in a way, NeuroGum is supported by TikTok and TikTok is supported by its viewers. So you see how it goes. So you might be asking, John, what are you getting to? What is the point that you're getting to right now? Because you're doing a lot of talking. What I'm saying is, you do not have to be innovative. You can follow a blueprint that works for other people. If it works for other people, who's to say it can't work for you? If there's a blueprint written out and you know exactly what you're supposed to do and you're not doing it and you don't see a result, then you blame the person teaching you the blueprint and you blame the world for the success that you have not seen yet. Whose fault is it? Is it you or is it the world? Is it you or is it who taught you? Is it you or is it your lack of execution? Sometimes we have to be self-accountable and truly self-evaluate and see what the things that we're doing right and the things that we are doing wrong. You can start an Amazon FBA business. You can start a short-term rental business. You can start a TikTok shop agency. You can do all of these things, and all of these things are backed up by other main corporations and businesses. But the thing is, there's a proven concept, but you have to follow it. But the big problem is people have trouble following concepts. People have trouble being consistent. People have trouble keeping their ambition. Because there's a difference between motivation and ambition. Because there's a difference between motivation and consistency. There's a difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is temporary. Motivation might have been the 30-second clip of the music I listened to as I was hitting 225 bench press for 10 reps this morning. While discipline is me going to the gym, having no motivation and knowing exactly what I need to do and hitting my 10 reps of 225 with no music, no energy, no food, but I go strictly off discipline. I go because I know I'm supposed to do this to make me better. I go because I know this is what's gonna make me 1% better today. I go to the gym and I lift because I know this is what I need to do to achieve my goals, irregardless of how I feel in the given moment. But it all goes back to one thing. It's sticking to one thing, it's failing through one thing, and then it's seeing your success through this one thing you're doing. But if you think you're gonna go from thing to thing to thing, the problem is you are not. You're not gonna find the magic business model, the magic thing that you like doing, the magic thing that's gonna bring you successful. It's not gonna happen. If you simply don't have the consistency, if you don't have the discipline, then what do you expect out of life? There's a saying and it goes like, God will run to you if you walk to him, and God will sprint to you if you run to him. But God will not bless you with the things that you are praying for if he doesn't see you working towards those things. You need to use God and you need to use your discipline and hard work and your consistency in order to see and achieve your goals. Nothing will come to you overnight and nothing will be handed out to you. Listen guys, I recorded this video based off the things that I was thinking about in the past week, the past 2 weeks, what I've been going through in business, because I'm at the point, I have a stabilized business, I have employees, and mostly of 80 to 90% of things are automated inside of my short-term rental business. So I'm thinking, what are the next next things I can use to grow? How can I grow? How can I bring more funding to the business? How can I provide more value to people? And I started thinking like, damn, what happened if I didn't, take a chance and I actually started this business? What happened at that time when I was 18 years old? I was living at my parents' house. I was living inside the basement. I was working, a valet job, working 40 hours a week from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m., depending on the day. I was still grinding on my business. I was failing through my business. I was learning through my business, and I still managed to get through. What happened to that ambition? What happened to that consistency? I strive and I'm looking for that same ambition that I had at that time. Yes, do I have much more success than I was at 18? Obviously, I was making, $2,000, $3,000 a month max. Now I'm easily clearing 10, 15, 20K a month in profit at 21 years old, but I still have ambitions. I want to make more money. And there's no problem with me wanting to make more money as long as I appreciate what God had already given me at this time. And if you didn't get anything throughout this video, what I want you to understand is I want you to stay disciplined and consistent with the business model or whatever you're doing in life. If you're not seeing results, trust me, you will see results. But sometimes you gotta go through the trenches. The trenches are where character is built. And your character is gonna defy you in your future. But in order for you to build character, you must go through hardship. Hardship is the one thing that's going to get you to success. But if you avoid the hardship, then how do you expect to see success? I hope you truly gained something from this video and you learned a lesson or two. And if you did, I want you to comment something that you're grateful for. Because in life, we take a lot of things for granted. And when we take things for granted, we don't appreciate things. When we don't appreciate things, sometimes God takes these things away from us. So comment something that you're grateful for. Leave any video suggestions. And I appreciate you guys for watching. And as I leave you guys at the end of every single video, just please make sure you pray to God. I'm out.